It's superhero night at the Bank Tank. Walleye donning the Iron Man sweaters. We start in the third. Toledo down 2. Tyler Speja swipes the puck away and finds Brandon Hawkins. He zips it by for the score. The Ironfish close within 1. 3 minutes later, Cyclones in the power play for the 4th time in the contest. And for the 3rd time, they find the back of the net to go up by 2. Just a little over 2 minutes to go. Walleye trying to make something happen with the empty net advantage. Colin Sawoyer slap shot is deflected by Hunter Johannes. Toledo needs one more Infinity Stone to force overtime. A minute later, Walleye with the empty net again, and once again it's Hawkins, top left corner of the net. Avengers assemble, we're going to overtime. But unfortunately, this happens to be Infinity War and not Endgame. Cincinnati's Braden Kressler on a flyer scores 17 seconds into the extra period. Finger snap roll credits. The Walleye, for the 4th time this season, drop a game in overtime. 6-5 is the final.
Didn't seem like we had our traditional legs and, allowed them to play the style of game they wanted to have and dictated things in the middle of the ice. That's a mentality. I mean, to get pucks in the net in those desperate times down by 2 with an empty net. Just said that in the coach's room. That point is valuable, but no matter what, it's important that our guys stayed focused and stayed on course. And, you get to the overtimes and there's going to be some action, and, they took advantage of their opportunity. Yeah. So we lost the race, but it's a credit to their skill getting out in front of us.
Matt Melzak joins us with more on tonight's thriller in the tank.
Well, you know what a comeback tonight for the Toledo Walleye. Even though it ends up going in vain because they lose the game in overtime, when you're down 2 with under 5 minutes left to go in a hockey game, there's a lot of times where that game is just going to go in as a loss. But Toledo gets 2 goals in 21 seconds. And they get that opportunity to grab an extra point, which in talking with head coach Pat Mickish following the game, he mentioned it there about how, you look back on that and you go, that's a point when you bank it and you might need it later on in the season, and one you probably shouldn't have gotten when you look at it down 5-3 with that 2:09 left to go in the 3rd period. But what can you say? You look at Brandon Hawkins. We talked about him. That 10 games, he didn't have a goal. Everybody was starting to wonder, what's going on? He's stuck on 13 goals. When is he going to get rolling again? Well, now he's rolling. It's 6 goals in the last 4 games, including 5 over the course of this weekend. He's found that goal-scoring touch, and those 2 tonight were just outstanding for sure. And you look at the way Toledo just persevered through this game. They had an opportunity to win it when you go to overtime like that. Cincinnati makes a great play, and you end up taking the loss. But the Walleye come away with a point, and it ends up being a 5-point weekend for them. They still really kind of have one more game to go when you're looking at the New Year's Eve game coming up in 2 nights from now when they're down in Cincinnati, and they'll look to get revenge on the Cyclones then. That's the story from here inside the Huntington Center. Let's throw it back to you now in the studio.